UFC 316 is here, and it is an absolute banger of a card. The start of the card, a ton of prospects, undefeated, champions and regional organizations, all trying to make an impact on a major stage. UFC 316 at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. And then you have the highly anticipated rematch. One of the biggest UFC stars in Sean O'Malley, another massive star in Merab Dvalishvili, the rematch. And then you also have an absolute banger where two ladies that absolutely despise each other, Julianna, Pena, Kayla Harrison. The UFC has put a good bit of promotional hype into this co-main event, 135-pound title fight. I think Kayla Harrison has a rather easy time in this fight, but 5 rounds, Pena is a dog, so I'm excited to see. And then if Kayla Harrison does end up getting crowned the UFC Bantamweight champion, it'd be a long time coming for her through the PFL and now in the world's premier organization, and in a fight that has a lot of bad blood going in, that I am highly anticipating some of the banter that these two are going to throw back and forth. Then also third fight of the night, Joe Pyfer, heavy-handed, takes on Kelvin Gastelum. Is this maybe Gastelum's swan song? If he gets finished by Joe Pyfer, do we really see him having a spot in the UFC at that top level of competition? He has given us so many great fights. I'm interested to see how this one goes. If you want more highlights on Joe Pyfer, I do have a video on him. You can go check that out. And there's a lot of good fights on this card. I'm anticipating a lot of prospects early down the card that with big knockouts are going to see themselves become a mainstay UFC talent. But Patchy Mix, former Bellator champion, the dude is 20-1, an absolute savage who has just kind of been in a contract battle since the PFL's acquisition of Bellator. He finally finds his way into the best organization in the world, and he is fighting a guy that knows how to win fights. Mario Bautista, his last fight against Jose Aldo, a lot of people kind of disrespecting Mario. Mario did what he had to do to win. It wasn't as pleasant to a fight fan. And I think that this is a great setup for Patchy Mix, a Bellator fighter coming in. And that new wave of Bellator fighter entering the UFC has been awesome because the PFL has struggled to pull a lot of these top guys' contracts into their organization. So we're seeing a lot of them, the Patricio Pitbulls of the world, the Patchy Mixes of the world, and I'm excited to see how many more talented fighters, Aaron Pico, that are going to continue to come from that Bellator system. And honestly, this fight is going to be a great fight. I could see with Patchy Mix's hype that he's going to get a favorite line here, but still, Mario Bautista, he's been itching for a top 5 fight. And this is honestly near that level with how acclaimed Patchy Mix was in Bellator. Then another great fight, Kevin Holland, fun, taking on Vicente Luque. This one has a great fight written all over it. And then you get into the prospects, the Joshua Vaughns, 13-2. You got Azamat Murzakonov in the fight before that. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 13-1. Andreas Gustafsson, 11-2. You're seeing a lot of these fighters that are coming up through the prospect portals, through the Contender Series, through the road to UFC, all those different avenues to get into the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And these guys are the ones that haven't really been defeated yet, and they're getting big spots. Andreas Gustafsson, a great 11-2, great Contender Series performance, taking on established Chaos Williams. You get Kong Wang versus Ariana Lipski. Lipski cemented herself as an Ultimate Fighting Championship level opponent. Kong Wang, who's going to try and get into that top 15 representing China. Then you get Ju Sang Yu. I'll have a highlight video for him as well. Korean Zombie has kind of guided him into the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He makes his UFC debut on UFC 316. He didn't come through the Contender Series. He didn't come through Road to UFC. Dana White actually watched one of his regional bouts where he was a main card performer, got a first-round finish, and they're bringing him in to take on Jekka Saragai. And then one of my highly anticipated lightweight prospects, again, a guy that has seen a very similar regional career up until this point as JDM did when he debuted to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Quillen, he only has lost one fight. It was his first fight in pro mixed martial arts. He landed a unanimous decision against Gage Young, which I'm really high on as a competitor in the 155-pound division. And then he landed a first-round knockout under a minute against Anshul Jubilee. This guy could be pushed to the moon if he is able to get past his Israeli opponent. And then Markel Medeiros, I'll have a video on him this week as well. He's taking on an undefeated regional champion. That's going to be another great fight. 8-0, undefeated, fighting out of Rufus Sport, finally getting that opportunity in the UFC. He's another guy not coming from the Contender Series, not coming from one of those avenues, but an undefeated prospect, a champion regionally for Anthony Pettis' organization, and I'm excited to see that fight. There are so many fights on this card that I'm excited for. We'll have betting previews and stuff like that coming up. A lot of highlight videos for you guys, so if you enjoy that kind of content, smash that like button, subscribe to Combat Sports Central, and I will see you in the next one.